حوصلہ نیوز میں سر آپ کا خیر مقدم ہے. ناظرین, ہمارے ساتھ فرینک اسلام صاحب ہیں جو اعظم گڑھ کے ننداؤں گاؤں سے تعلق رکھتے ہیں. آپ کی ابتدائی تعلیم کروڑوں گاندھی میں ہوئی, پھر آپ نے علی گڑھ مسلم یونیورسٹی کا سفر کیا, پھر اس کے بعد آپ یونائٹیڈ اسٹیٹ آف امریکہ گئے. تو ایک لمبی جدوجہد ہے, ایک لمبا سفر ہے. تو فرینک اسلام صاحب اپنی ابتدائی تعلیم اور ابتدائی دنوں کے بارے میں, یہ جو آپ کا سفر ہے وہاں سے لے کر یہاں تک, کچھ ہمیں ناظرین کو کچھ تفصیل بتائیں.
Sure. First of all, thank you very much. ہم جو ہے اعظم گڑھ سے ہیں. So my Urdu is not very good. So I'll say in English and you can translate that. I was born in Azamgarh, and Azamgarh instilled in me the love of education, and which was very important to my family. It is a long way from Azamgarh to Aligarh to America, and it reaffirms the notion that anything can happen in America, and America is indeed land of opportunity. And it's America's inclusiveness and openness that gave me the opportunity to succeed. So I left Aligarh after I graduated, and then I went to the United States. And then in 1994, with all the desire, drive, and dream, I started my business. And I grew it to several $100 million, 4,000 employees. Then in 2007, I sold it to Ross Perot and for several $100 million. And then I created a foundation to basically fund artistic things, causes, which is the Kennedy Center, where I'm a board of trustees, and also to the students who have financial hardship who want to come to America and I want to help. God has given me so much. It is time for me to give back to my community, the country that I love so much. And also, as President John F. Kennedy once said, to whom much is given, much is expected. So, and that's my family's finest tradition, sharing, loving, caring, and giving. And I hope one day, when some of the people in the audience are successful, they do the same thing. And that will become sustainable. I did not do on my own. A lot of people helped me to get there where I am today. So I owe them a sense of gratitude.
سر, اپنی فیملی بیک گراؤنڈ کے بارے میں اور آپ کا بچپن کیسے گزرا, وہاں کے بارے میں کچھ.
بچپن ہمارا بہت اچھا تھا. It was a tough life for me because my family was, I came from humble beginning. But my parents always believed that if you educate somebody and they believe the upper mobility it can provide. So one of the things that I have for you to tell the Indian Muslim youth, my advice, get a good education, be somebody, never give up, and work hard, aim high, and pursue your dream. And the most important of all these things, and when you're successful, serve your community, engage the community, help others, so they can also be successful.
تو جب آپ نے اعظم گڑھ چھوڑا, تو اس وقت اعظم گڑھ کیسا تھا, کیا حالات تھے وہاں پہ؟
Azamgarh has always been, and I will hope you don't mind me saying, dark, desperate, desolate, and hopeless world. But in that world, which is the desperate, it gives you the strength and courage to continue on. But the most important thing is that it provided me a building block to take a risk as well as to become an entrepreneur. If Azamgarh would have not given me the education, I would not be sitting right across to you as a fellow countryman, because we are bonded by shared history, shared heritage, shared belief, and shared background. There are a lot that unite us, there are a lot that divide us.
تو ابھی جب آپ نے ریسنٹلی اعظم گڑھ وزٹ کیا, تو پہلے کی بنسبت کمپیئر ٹو دا لاسٹ, آئی مین یور ارلی چائلڈہڈ, ابھی کیسا آپ کو اعظم گڑھ لگا, کیا تبدیلیاں ہیں, کیسا آپ محسوس کرتے ہیں؟
A lot more cars and the road is better. But beyond that, Zafar, the important thing about a Muslim community is they have been left behind. They confront hostility and open prejudice. They share a city but not a community. They share a common fear. So we have to instill in them, and I hope they can be inspired by my story. So one day they will be more like a Frank Islam. And that's what legacy that I will leave behind. I will not take anything from this world, but if I can help the other to do what I have been able to do, that will be my legacy that I will leave behind. So, a lot more cars, the roads are better, but it's still, there is so much poverty. Poverty breeds violence, and lack of poverty crushes the hope and the dream of the people. So educate your kids, and I want the audience to know, educate them, go to school, become a part of the social, economic, political fabric of this nation, and tell Prime Minister Modi that we're willing to work with you, give your hand, your hope, your help, your voice in shaping our future.
आजमगढ़
Right?
के ये एग्जैक्टली आजमगढ़ के बहुत सारे लोग पढ़े लिखे हैं और बहुत सारे लोग आपकी तरह दुनिया के दूसरे ममालिक में बड़ा मकाम है उनका
जी,
लेकिन उनका कंट्रीब्यूशन आजमगढ़ में बहुत कम नज़र आता है. जहां वो छोड़ के गए थे वहीं हैं, वो भूल चुके हैं. तो ऐसा क्यों होता है?
That's a part of the DNA, that people forget where they came from. People also forget the fact that who made them who they are. And that's the part that we need to change. Not just the Azamgarh, Zafar, everywhere in India, they are more interested in building more wealth rather than sharing the wealth and giving to those who are voiceless, who are hopeless, who are helpless, and who have no hope. So to answer your questions, you in the media can play an important role to tell them, you got here, help others who can get there as well. So I believe in it, I firmly believe in it, and I believe that I can tell the audience as well the people who wants to help, that you serve the community, you become a good citizen of this country and your community. Now, there are some restrictions in this country in terms of the trying to send the money to the school systems, which I want to establish in Koroড়وں, which has been a difficult choice, difficult challenge, because it has taken 4 years to get the approval. So I have talked to the ministers over here and told them that they need to eliminate and reduce this bureaucratic way of 17 layers of approval that they need. So that's one of the challenges. But we can serve our community, and I have done it, and I continue to do so.
सर आपका
I want to do more.
एग्जैक्टली आपका जो गांव है नंदाؤں,
जी,
या
नंदाؤں,
वो पूरा साड़ा जो पूरा बेल्ट है वो 10 साल पहले जैसा था, रोड जैसा था उस वक्त, जैसा एजुकेशन का जिस तरह वहाँ पे सर्विस पहले थी जिस
जी,
तरह
जी.
आज भी वैसी है, और आपको उसमें कोई कंट्रीब्यूशन क्या था या क्या?
Nobody has asked me, nobody has given me a plan. This is what they want me to do. If they do that and say this is my future and that's what I want to do, I will be more than happy to help.
सर ये आपका गांव है, आपके पास भी कुछ प्लान होना चाहिए.
But the fact of the matter is the next generation, the people who live there, understand what needs to be done. Just opening a school doesn't serve any purpose. What the purpose is to create the workforce that they can compete in the marketplace and get a good job. And if somebody gives me a good proposal and say I will be in charge, I'll make it happen, I'll be more than happy to help.
लेकिन वहाँ
But it doesn't happen.
लेकिन वहाँ पे इतने भी पढ़े लिखे और स्किल लोग ना हो अगर जो आपको प्रपोजल बना के दे सकें, तो फिर what is the web?
So they have to learn. That's the number one. Number two is what's important over here is that they need to become part of the 21st century workforce. So they need, if we give them, it's like a Chinese proverb. If don't give them a fish, tell them how to catch a fish, right? Which is what I would like to do. It is a very desperate world. Obviously, there are some people who went to Middle Eastern countries. They have done a good job. They brought some money, so they can funnel some money, so they can put the food on the table. But that's beyond that. There is nothing excitement and energy to be the best you can be.
So आपके ज़हन में क्या क्या प्लान है आजमगढ़ के मुख्तलिफ गाँव में या आसपास में डेवलपमेंट को लेकर, एजुकेशन को लेकर?
Well, I tried to give you example of करोड़وں, which hasn't worked for 4 years, and I'm still looking for the approval for the ministry to get the money from the, and if somebody really, and then I personally I would like to establish a management school in Aligarh Muslim University and fund it. And the Vice Chancellor is very good. He has done a good job, and I'm willing to help.
In Azamgarh?
No, in Aligarh Muslim University. It will be on my name. There will be a school of management, which will be there for many, many generations to come.
And anything else for Azamgarh?
Well, I would like to see if we can get something at Shibli College. If somebody can give me a proposal, coaching class, training class, are some students who wants to come to Aligarh and to America. I have done that, several of them, from my family as well as my distant relatives. And if somebody gives me a plan, if somebody says this student is really good, help him, adopt him, I'm willing to do it.
आजमगढ़ का बीच में बहुत बुरा नाम चल रहा था, टेररिज्म, तो बाहर रहते हुए आपको कैसा फील होता है अपने आप को आजमगढ़ का कहलाने में?
It's a very sad and shameful. Azamgarh has shaped my history, my destiny, and people like Shibli Nomani. There is many people who have gone all over the world and created the next generation. That's not what Azamgarh is for. Unfortunately, there are some elements who may have been into the terrorism, whatever you call it. That is not what Azamgarh stands for. So you and I and the media can play an important role to make sure that they understand that you got to get a good education, and those madrasa got to create not the history of Quran, which is a very good thing to do. You can preserve and protect your religion, your faith, and your pray, but also create the next generation, the workforce, so they can become part of the global economy. And that's what you could do to help them too.
कम्युनलिज्म एक बड़ा मसला है, मुसलमान बहुत परेशान हैं, बहुत डरे हुए हैं, खौफ में हैं, खासतौर से आजमगढ़ के मुसलमान, तो आपको इससे कैसे बाहर आया जा सकता है?
Well, in general, Zafar, I have brought this to the attention of this government, to many ministers here, that the Muslims are not part of the cabinet. They need to become inclusive. They need to become open. They need to make sure that the power sharing, and they are doing that, and they will continue to do so. We live in a very tough and challenging times in this nation. But rather than complaining and criticizing others, we need to come together ourselves and provide the leadership in the Muslim community and say, here are some of the things that we need to do, and here's something this government can do, and move forward. So we need to set the example for others.